Petal Dhillon, a woman officer who is changing India's global trade game. Just imagine, late-night negotiations inside a closed room, thick files spread across the table, every word being weighed carefully, because if even a single line goes wrong, it could result in losses worth billions of dollars. Across the table sit foreign negotiators, each pushing hard for their country's interests. And at the same table, sitting calmly with razor-sharp focus, is a woman representing India. No noise, no cameras, no headlines. Yet the decisions made here will impact the lives of millions of Indians. This is the space where Petal Dhillon stood as India's voice. Negotiations for the Free Trade Agreement (FTA) between India and New Zealand have been completed. Under this deal, Indian products will get duty-free entry into the New Zealand market. This means Indian goods can now be sold there without any tax. The direct impact is clear: higher exports, greater demand, and new opportunities for Indian companies. But the story does not end here. New Zealand has also committed to invest around $20 billion, or more than 1.6 lakh crore, in India over the next 15 years. This is not just a trade deal. It is part of India's long-term economic strategy. The most remarkable aspect of this entire deal was that all the key Indian officials involved in the negotiations were women. And leading this team was Joint Secretary Petal Dhillon, a name that appears less often in headlines, but carries immense weight in the world of policy. Petal Dhillon is a 2002 batch officer of the Indian Railway Traffic Service (IRTS) and has been serving as Joint Secretary in the Commerce Department since February 2025. For the next 5 years, she will play a key role in shaping India's trade policy. Petal Dhillon's story is not about a single exam or one promotion. It is a story of continuous learning, understanding the system, and making the right decisions at the right time. Her academic journey began at Delhi's Miranda House, where she completed her economics honors. Miranda House is not just a college, but a symbol of critical thinking and discipline. She completed her schooling from DPS R.K. Puram, a place known for intense competition and high expectations of excellence from every student. After this, Petal Dhillon gained deep expertise in finance and business from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. This is where she developed a strong understanding of numbers, balance sheets, and financial systems. But her academic journey did not stop there. She went on to earn a master's degree in public administration from the prestigious Harvard University in the United States. Studying at Harvard does not just provide a degree. It offers a global perspective on policy, a perspective that later becomes clearly visible in her negotiations. Petal Dhillon began her career in the private sector in 1995. She worked as a senior consultant at a company and spent nearly 6 years closely observing the corporate world. There, she learned how businesses think, how profits are generated, how risks are taken, and the role data plays in decision-making. This corporate experience later became a major advantage in trade negotiations, as she understood not only the government's perspective but also that of businesses. She then joined government service, where she worked for nearly 11 years as a deputy secretary. This is the phase where an officer truly understands the complexity of the system, how files move, how policies are framed, and how even small decisions impact the ground reality. Petal Dhillon witnessed all of this firsthand. This is where her policy foundation became strong. In May 2013, she was appointed as Director, Bilateral and Multilateral, in the Department of Economic Affairs under the Finance Ministry. She served in this role for 4 years. Her responsibility here was economic coordination between India and other countries and international institutions. This is where one feels the pulse of the global economy. It was here that Petal Dhillon learned to handle the real pressure of international negotiations. After this, she got the opportunity to work at the International Monetary Fund (IMF). At the IMF, she worked for over 3 years as an advisor to the executive director. The IMF is considered the center of global financial decision-making. From this vantage point, she closely observed global debt, currency risks, financial reforms, and the economic weaknesses of countries. Her IMF experience helped her understand how the world views India and how India should use its bargaining power effectively. In 2020, Petal Dhillon was given the responsibility of Executive Director, Business Development in the Ministry of Railways. Indian Railways is not just about trains. It is the backbone of the country's logistics system. Freight corridors, infrastructure development, and private participation were key parts of her work. Here, she gained an even deeper understanding of the gap between policy and ground reality. Then came 2025. In February 2025, Petal Dhillon became Joint Secretary in the Commerce Department. From this point, her role became far more critical. This is the department that negotiates free trade agreements, designs export strategies, and defines India's position in global trade. In this role, she led the India New Zealand FTA negotiations. A free trade agreement is not just about removing tariffs. It decides which sectors will open up and which will remain protected. Agriculture, dairy, services, technology. Each sector has its own sensitivities. Negotiating an FTA with a country like New Zealand is not easy because its dairy sector is highly sensitive and India's agriculture sector is both politically and economically very important. Maintaining balance is essential here. This balanced negotiation approach is considered Petal Dhillon's greatest strength. Her negotiation style is not aggressive, but calculated. Where other negotiators use pressure tactics, Petal Dhillon relies on data, impact analysis, and long-term vision. Insiders say that many times the talks got stuck, but she would return to the table with employment impact assessments, MSME exposure, and sector-wise data. This is precisely why the deal was eventually able to move forward. This FTA will bring major benefits to Indian exporters. Sectors such as textiles, engineering goods, pharmaceuticals, and services will get duty-free access, making Indian products more competitive. At the same time, New Zealand's $20 billion investment commitment opens up long-term growth possibilities in sectors like infrastructure, manufacturing, and renewable energy. A very powerful angle of this entire story is women's leadership. Trade negotiations have traditionally been considered male-dominated. But here, the core leadership of the Indian team was entirely in the hands of women. Petal Dhillon is a symbol of this change. Representing India at the global table with quiet confidence, this is becoming the identity of the new India. Petal Dhillon is not limited to the India-New Zealand FTA alone. She has also played a significant role in important trade talks, such as the India-Sri Lanka Economic and Technology Cooperation Agreement and the India-Australia Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. Negotiating with a developed economy like Australia requires strategic maturity, and Petal Dhillon has proven her capability there as well. In the Commerce Ministry, she also oversees export infrastructure and the leather and footwear export divisions. These sectors are linked to millions of jobs. In addition, she has been entrusted with monitoring national missions like the 𝐮𝐩𝐿 mission. This means she brings an understanding of social infrastructure alongside trade policy. Petal Dhillon's story teaches us that real power is often silent.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.